Welcome to the Live the Experience podcast. Hi, my name is Lenny and I'm your host. Welcome back to the show. On this episode, my guest is Mili. She's from Argentina and went on a global volunteer project to Chile. She decided to contribute to Sustainable Development Goal number 10, reducing inequalities. And she put herself in a situation that can be very demanding and tough for you, but she mastered it. Her impact on one specific child is incredible, and it's inspiring to hear what such small impact on one person can look like and how it can be long lasting. I hope you will enjoy this episode and talk to you after the episode. Welcome to the show, Mili. I'm super excited to have you on this show because it's the first actual recording we do in Buenos Aires. So thank you very much for coming on the show.
Okay, thank you for the invitation too.
So you're from Argentina. You were born and raised in Argentina, and then you decided to do a voluntary project in Chile. What did your friends say once they heard that you decided to go to Chile for 8 weeks?
Well, their first reaction was like, "Why, Mili? Why will you go to Chile when you have like a lot of countries to go?" And it was like, "That's why I want to go, just because of your reaction, because there's like this enmity between Argentina and Chile, and I wanted to like break it. Like we can be friends. I think that Chilean people are really nice, are amazing. They have an amazing culture, and I wanted to show my friends in Argentina, Argentinian people also, that Chile is not our enemy. It's just the opposite. It's a friend and it's our neighbor. So I wanted to show them that. It
was also your first time in Chile, right?
Yes, it was my first
What
time.
was your first impression once you arrived in the country?
Well, my mindset, I was going to Chile thinking that, okay, we speak the same language, it's the same. But I arrived to Chile and the language was completely different. It's Spanish, but it's other Spanish. So it was really hard.
Completely different accent.
Yes, it's really hard, and other words. And yes, it was a really cultural shock.
Yeah.
But the people are like, they have their own gestures and all that stuff. So yes, I had to learn a lot of the experience.
And culture-wise, is there a big difference for you between Argentinian and Chilean culture?
Well, people in Argentina, it's like we are all friends, and I went to Chile like I'm friend of everyone, and they are like more like distant, like okay, we have just met.
Let's wait a bit and then see.
Yes, here in Argentina we kiss each other as we meet. I don't know, I kissed you as I arrived, and I don't know if that was normal for you, but it was like the first cultural shock because we are too like expressive here. Yes, it was like the main one, like the first one.
Yeah, and then you decided to do a global volunteer project connected to the Sustainable Development Goal number 10, reducing inequalities, right? Why did you decide to volunteer for this specific cause?
Well, because first of all, because we have like a lot of inequalities between Argentina and Chile. Because I think that this enmity that we have, like this inequality that we are forcing, it's like it's not worthy the effort. It's like, why are we doing this if we can be like friends, like I said before? And I think that it's because we are too into our history, what happened to us, and
living in the past.
Yes, and I think that what happened to us doesn't define us in that sense. It's like we can work in a lot of things together. We have like a lot of things in common. So why wouldn't I go to Chile to work to help them? If I want them to help us, it's like I have to do something. It's
to just bridge the gap between the two cultures, right?
Yes, completely.
Then what was your project like? What was your role in the project?
Okay, I had to take care of kids that were from newborn to 2 years old.
That's very young.
Yes, they were babies, basically.
Have you ever taken care of such young children before?
Yes, my brothers, I
okay.
think.
That's different.
Yes, it's completely different because it's my brothers and it's kids that I
Yeah.
don't know. But yes, it was basically that. They were all they came from violent backgrounds, drugs, alcohol. So it was like we were there to show them that their family and their backgrounds weren't the only thing that they had in the world. They were a lot of things left, and so yes, we were there to show them that.
Once you arrived at the NGO, what was your first impression of the first contact you had with these children and knowing their horrible past and what they have experienced at home? How did you feel about that at first?
Well, I thought that I wasn't ready for that. The first time it was like, okay, this is gonna be challenging. The first day I went to the NGO, there was a kid that was like 8 months, and that was that was learning how to talk, and she saw me and started like crying, mom, and it was like, no, wait, I'm not your mom. I'm sorry, but I'm not your mom. And this kid was, well, like we had a bondage, like
you bonded?
Yes, yes, and she's really special to me yet now.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
At first, I imagine like it was weird for you, right?
Yes, it was really weird because it was like, Mom, I was 19, I think. No, I was 18, so it was like, I'm not your mom, no way. So yeah, it was really
then
shocking.
Over the time, over the weeks, how did you deal with being faced by or being around these kids who have experienced such horrible things?
Well, as the baby's routine was really like repetitive, one day I wanted to try how was it to stay with to spend the day with the older ones that were from 2 years to 7. So I went and I was like playing with the girls, and one of them started hitting me on the leg, and it was like, okay, that doesn't hurt me. I don't get your point. And she was like, okay, it doesn't hurt you because your boyfriend hits you. And I was like,
wow.
Okay, that's at the first time it was like 2 seconds, 3 seconds of shock, and I told her no, because when you have
How
a
old was
boyfriend, she was 5 years. And it was like, no, your boyfriend has to take care of you. I don't know, there are a lot of
not
Spanish
hitting
words.
You.
Yes, and she was like, oh, okay, so do you kiss with tongue? And I was like, oh my God, that's really, when I was 5 years, that was disgusting for me even to think about it. So no, the reality that they live, was really shocking. And at the first time was like, I thought that I couldn't deal with it. So it was just one day that I spent with the older ones, because well, it was really hard. Yes.
Yeah. And then during your project, how did you then actually contribute to the Sustainable Development Goal number 10, reducing inequalities?
Well, there was this kid called Victor. He was like 5, 6 years. That was left there by his family, and he was like angry with everyone that came, every new people that came, because he knew that they were going to leave. He told me that one day when I was trying to calm him down, he told me, I don't want new people because you new people leave. And it was that was really shocking for me. And he was like treated in differently from the other kids because he was a problematic guy.
Yeah, he was violent towards others.
Yes, he was violent, but I think that he was violent because the people that worked there didn't get how he how he thought, and
so he was basically just he was left by his family, and he was just like afraid of being left by others again, and so sort of like a mechanism, like self-defensive mechanism of him.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Completely.
Like how old? 6 years old.
Yes.
At this age already.
Yes, at that age I was like dancing or playing with dolls. I don't know,
Yeah.
just not thinking about that kind of problems.
And
And
how did your relationship with him then evolve?
well, he was really special for me. It was really hard to get to him, though, because well, he was like he didn't want to meet new people because he didn't want to suffer. But we were friends. I can tell that we were friends, and I didn't. It was like when he had a problem, when he was like behaving bad. I was the one that everyone called, so he can be relaxed, so he can calm down. Because I was the one that got to him, and even though he hit me, because he hit everyone, he was hitting me, and I was telling him, okay, I know you're angry, I get your point, but it's useless to hit me. It's not. No, it makes no sense. And so he was like he got that point, and every time he saw me, he was like, okay, let's relax. And just by seeing me the last weeks, it was
so
enough.
you just gave him the trust he didn't get from the people that were around him all day, like usually.
Yes, there was this situation that he came to the room where the babies were, and he wasn't allowed to be there, and we knew that. And he came into the room and just grabbed a kid and told me, look at me, I can take care of it. And I told him, okay, I know that you can take care of him, of course you can, because you're old, you know how to, but if he cries, you have to leave. So in the next 10 minutes, if he cries, you leave. If he doesn't cry, you can stay 10 minutes more. And he was like really happy about that. His face was like really bright. And the baby didn't cry. It was like 10-15 minutes. And
he was taking care of it.
Yes, the baby was really like calmed. It was amazing. But the superiors, the other ones that worked there, came and started like not yelling, but telling him that he wasn't ready to take care of a baby, that he wasn't he shouldn't be there. Yes. And I was like, no, but he's doing it well. The baby has been with him for 15 minutes and it's not crying. But they were like, no, he has to leave. Okay, so he left. That's when he got angry because and I was scared because he had the baby on his arms. So it was like he was angry and left the room like kicking the things and really angry.
It's so sad that such an experience, you really like giving him the trust to do something, and you see him excited about, someone gives me trust, and now I take care of this baby and I'm doing it good, and then they come in and they destroy the whole momentum.
Yes. And
he's back at where he was before, being angry and not liking it. And
yes, it was a pity to lose that mood, because he was like really it wasn't the guy, the kid that everyone knew there. He was behaving in a completely different way. So yes,
I think that's a very nice example of you empowering others, right? One of our 4 leadership qualities we try to develop in young responsible leaders, and going on these AIESEC experiences will put you in situations where you are faced by uncertainty, which will demand you to work on these 4 qualities, right? And for you it's empowering others then, I guess, right? Because this is the perfect example of giving someone trust, communicating with them, hey, do this well, you can do more.
Yes.
Would you also say that empowering others is something you can really take out of this experience?
Yes, completely, because, well, this example it's like the main example. But also because I was like the one that told the other volunteers to go on with the project, because it was like a really challenging project for all of us, and sometimes you want to quit. It makes sense because it's you're out of your comfort zone.
It's challenging.
Yes, and I was like, okay, we are here because we are ready for this. We should go on. Yes, I think that it was like the one that
encourage them
more.
to also you encourage them to continue the project and
Yes.
like, hey, we are here for 6 weeks, so let's have an impact, right?
Yes. Of course.
How much of, like, it's difficult to put in numbers, but how much would you say going on this experience was taking a step out of your comfort zone from the moment on you decided in Argentina, in your hometown, I'm going on a voluntary project to Chile? How big of a step out of your comfort zone was that for you?
Well, from 1 to 10, 11.
Okay, now you put it in numbers. Perfect. Nice.
It was really challenging because, well, the whole experience from the language, from leaving my family, from meeting new people. I was alone there. I didn't know anyone. So, yeah, it was a really challenging experience.
How do you think, or did you take something back from this experience where you would say, because I went out of my comfort zone so far, I was able to take something back for me, for my own personal development?
Yeah, there was something that happened to me that was really, really shocking. That made me like start looking at the bright side of everything. So I was like that before, but it's like I look
reminded.
at the yes, and yes, it's. I think that's the main thing that I brought back from the experience.
Also comparing yourself like with the situation of the children.
Yes, completely, because the children every day they wake up and the babies, they don't know that much why they are there, but the older ones, they already know. They talk to each other. They know the reason why they're there. So they wake up every morning knowing that their parents left there, that they were taken away from their parents, and they wake up and they just like go to play, eat, play, and it's like they face it. They don't get stuck in the problem.
They have to, right? I mean,
yes, completely.
I always like to talk about impact in the podcast, and impact is a huge word, right? What is it like? How do we measure impact, and do we actually have impact? Now, I'm curious to hear from you for your own personal opinion. What kind of impact do you think you had during your time in Chile?
Well, going back to Victor, because Victor was the main point of my experience. He wasn't able to communicate with other people without hitting them or yelling, and the day I left, well, I wanted to know if he was going to behave how like the way I taught him to do. The days that I wasn't there, and I keep in touch with one of the people, one of the girls that work there, and she always tell me that he completely changed after I was there.
Wow.
Because it's like they come when he's angry or something, they just come to him and say, okay, you're angry, like the same thing that I told him. You're angry, but it's useless to hit people. Let's talk about it. Let's sing or something so you can leave all your energy and relax. So I think that was my like the change that I made on the impact I made on my experience. Person. Yes,
that's
I think
incredible.
that the impact you make in your exchange is you make impact in everyone you meet, but there's always one that
sticks out.
Yes, and something that I always told my friends, that they told me, okay, you want to change the world, and I told them, no, I don't want to change the world, because the world is too big. It's like I can't change the world. But everyone that I meet, it's a world apart. So if I can change every world that I meet, it's like I'm changing the world of everyone. It's just that point. And my friends tell me, okay, but you can't. But I can. I
admire your enthusiasm and your convincing that's exactly what we need, right?
Yeah.
Like the small child Victor now.
Yes, I'm trying to get money so I can go back to Santiago and meet him back. I don't know if he's going to recognize me or something, because it's been a year. But yes, I want to come back
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe if he's still in 2 or 3 years there, and I have a job, and I'm graduated too,
Yeah.
I can bring him back. It's
Yeah.
like he and the kid and the baby that tell me mom. It's like they are the two people person, that I will come back to.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
I would like to I always like to end the show with the question to ask you, why would you think, or why do you think that more young people should go abroad to volunteer, to experience a different culture?
Well, I think that everyone should go, because we don't need these people like my friends telling you, no, you shouldn't because you can't. It's like, it's full of that people. And I think that we have the opportunity. We should take it. It's like, it's once it's once in a lifetime that you can change your life like this, because the next time I take a volunteer project, it's not going to be the same. So it's something really special. Every project, every exchange that you make. I completely want to make other one. I think that it's obvious, but yeah, I think that everyone should take. I don't know, not only a volunteer, but also being part of AIESEC too, because AIESEC had taught me a lot of things, how to defend myself and all that stuff. So yeah, I think that every young person should be in AIESEC at least for once.
For an experience, yeah.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much, Millie. I'm extremely impressed by your way of reflecting on your experience, but also how you realize that making this very small impact on this one child is a huge impact for him, for you. It always depends on the perspective you take, right?
Yeah.
But that's exactly these type of experiences and learnings and perspective we need more, right? Because we need these small changes to have a big one. We can't expect someone to have the big change, to make the big change, or to have the big impact. We all need these small ones, right?
Yeah.
So I love your story. I have tremendous respect for your experience, and I wish you all the best for your next experience. And let's hope it will be as valuable to you as the first one was.
Yes, it will completely be different and valuable, of course.
Well, thank you very much. All the best for the future, and yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Millie took a huge step out of her comfort zone, and despite her friends doubting if she should go to Chile, she went and had an amazing experience. If you're curious what an AIESEC experience could like for you, make sure to contact your local AIESEC office or just sign up on AIESEC.org and let them get in touch with you. And again, if you have any questions, if you have feedback for me or thoughts you want to share with me, please get in touch with me. As always, you can find all links in the show notes. If you like this podcast, please rate it and share it with your friends and family. You know that would mean a lot to me. Have a great day and talk to you next episode.